Hello, my name is Toni McFarland, and today I'm going to be presenting to you my healthcare management business presentation, and my selected organization is Tampa General Hospital, located in Tampa, Florida. But before we even get into the presentation, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Toni McFarland. I'm a Valdosta State University master's student seeking my Master's of Accountancy. I recently graduated from University of West Georgia with my degree in accounting as well, and I plan on going to the field of auditing. Currently, I'm taking my accounting classes as my major, but as my electives, I want to go into some healthcare classes because I believe one day I want to work in the healthcare field. So I'm taking some classes right now, such as this one, where I can get my experience and learn a little bit more about the healthcare system before I embark upon that journey. But eventually, I think I will like to go into auditing in hospitals, or at least see if they'll structure a position around auditing. So let's get started with my presentation. Hello, my name is Toni McFarland, and the hospital I've chosen for my presentation is called Tampa General Hospital, located in Tampa, Florida. Chapter 7, the U.S. Healthcare Workforce, is going to be my relevant chapter as far as my presentation goes, and it goes into things like primary, secondary, and tertiary care, physician education, the types of healthcare providers, other independent healthcare professionals, allied health professionals, and non-CAAHEP allied health professionals. The general overview for this chapter is it goes into detail about talking about some of the different workers in the healthcare system. We have nurses, doctors, physicians, psychologists, exercise specialists, exercise psychologists, medical illustrators, things of that nature. They have different tech jobs. They go into many details about the people in the U.S. healthcare force and who actually makes it work. These are the people who actually put in the work and make the hospitals what they are. They can't operate without these people there. They even go into detail about some of the physician education programs they have, what they're required to do. They talk about the different types of care they give patients, whether it be during, after, or before they're sick. So these are the people who are providing this information to them. And my overall project is going into people in the U.S. healthcare workforce as relating to Tampa General Hospital in my chosen article about the workforce and how they're bringing more people into their organization and how they're going to go about doing this. Okay, so now I want to get into some basic information about my healthcare organization. So Tampa General Hospital is a private, not-for-profit hospital. It's one of the region's largest employers, with employing over 7,300 people. It serves all the residents of West Central Florida, and that's with a population of over at least 4 million people. And it's one of the largest and most comprehensive hospitals in Florida, and this hospital is licensed to hold 1,011 beds. I know you're probably asking me, why Tampa General Hospital? Well, I'm in the field of auditing, and I do some inventory control, so I think translating these skills over into this field will essentially help me become a stronger person, especially in the field of auditing. And healthcare has really been calling out to me. A lot of people don't always go into healthcare field and the accounting world, but I think that's something that kind of interests me. And particularly Tampa General Hospital is a huge hospital. They service 4 million people. They do a little of everything, so I can kind of dabble in the healthcare field a little. But I think this is generally an area I like to be in. I'm interested in working in the Florida area after I graduate. So this hospital really drew me in. So now I want to get some facts about Tampa General Hospital and why it's one of the best hospitals you can ever think to be at. So it's home to one of the leading organ donor transplant centers in the country. It's the only level 1 trauma center and one of only 3 burn centers in Florida. And back in the day, it used to be formerly known as Tampa Municipal Hospital, meaning it was run locally by the government instead of some local charity or anything like that sponsoring it. And also, back in the day, in 1927, it was founded back on Davis Island. Trailing off from where I came from with facts, I want to go into some statistics for the group, because we all know statistics show the overall number of people that come into the hospital, the number of things you can do. A lot of people will go based off statistics, and I think Tampa General Hospital has a huge amount. The hospital services over 4 million people, and they also have 4 helicopters that take people from 23 surrounding counties in order for them to get the health care they need. And so some of these statistics are their child deliveries. They had 6,097, and this is from the past fiscal year in 2016. So surgeries they've had in the hospital is 30,725. Emergency and trauma center visits for adults is 83,839. Children, 13,553. Transplants for adults and pediatric, which are our children, are 372. They've got a medical staff of 1,631, and they have full-time employees of 6,769. And it's not surprising for such a huge hospital, and with the number of employees they have, they're better able to service the area and service the people around them. You can't service people without having the people there, and you can't have, without having people who work there, and you can't have the work you need without having people come to the hospital. So these are just some of the overall statistics from the fiscal year of 2016. This isn't even New Year's stuff, so as we get more into it, I think Tampa General Hospital, we'll see a lot more of their statistics growing and booming. Okay, so a huge part of my life that I always like to be a part of, be involved with in any place I like to work at, is community service. Community service is something that I like to do. I like people who reach out into the community, and I want to work with a program, an organization where I work at to actually do that. Because there's no better community service like the built-in community service, and I feel like hospitals, generally overall, should be trying to contribute a little bit more as far as giving to the community and the community giving back to them, because this is our overall health care that we're worried about. So community service for Tampa General Hospital, they've had a benefit of $123,116,841, and this is for the past fiscal year. So they brought in quite a bit of money through their community service efforts. So I'm very interested in how we went about doing that. I know they have a foundation called the Tampa General Hospital Foundation. They were formed in 1974. They are a not-for-profit organization, and they're a qualified charitable organization. That means they're qualified with the IRS, so they're officially one. And the Tampa General Hospital Foundation, they provide meaningful philanthropic support to Tampa General Hospital. The foundation's goal is to enhance the overall health and wellness of the Tampa Bay area by inspiring others to invest in the patients they serve. So it's more of a foundation that gives money to people, that gives money to the actual hospital, the foundation, and the foundation supports the hospital with the money by getting the people what they need. And another program they have is called the Rehabilitation Equipment Technology Fund. It's meant to serve individuals who have life-altering challenges from injury, illness, and any type of conditions. Because even patients have different needs, and they need to try to set a standard in order to say, hey, we help these people for both inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation. They always ask themselves, that I read up, if patients cannot get the care they need here, where would they go? I mean, this is just one thing that touches my heart. Community service is a big thing for me, and anybody who can actually do that is really big for me, because that's the one reason why I'm genuinely interested in this hospital. And another thing they also do as far as giving back to the community and involving the community, they have volunteers. And along with, in this hospital, they do a lot of things. They give quite a few benefits for the volunteers. They give them free parking. They give them $7.50 towards hospital cafeteria credit. They get free flu shots, annual cholesterol screenings. They have eligibility to use the Tampa General Hospital and Wellness Center. It's $65 a year usually, but they are eligible to use that, so they have access to a gym, free TB testing, recognition and service award events, and volunteers are just members of the family. And the organization, I'm more for the quirky side of things, getting involved with people, and I feel like if they're bringing people in from the community, then the community will accept them as well. But it's just integrating yourself into an area. I mean, we can all go about servicing and doing this and that, but actually feeling a part of an area and trying to actually give their time and efforts to them, that's where the real effort comes in as far as a hospital goes. Because a hospital is not just a money-making business. I love hospitals that can actually reach out to the community and give a little bit more time and effort to them. But these are just some of the community service initiatives that I went about and found for Tampa General Hospital with the Rehabilitation Equipment and Technology Fund. People are giving money for these things. Because, a foundation's general overview is to give money, is to receive money, and they take that money and they give it back to the hospital. They do things for the community. They have different things. And also the community service initiative, they also provide education as well for the surrounding area, so they know some health things about themselves, how to take care of their body. A relevant news article I chose was talking about employment opportunities at Tampa General Hospital. They have over 300 job application opens, including pharmacy tech. I think they have even cleaning. They have things like that. They do on-the-job training. No experience is required for some of these positions. If they do, they'll train you up, and they're actually initiating a new program that allows them to do some on-the-job training. It's actually getting people prepared to do what they got to do. They also offer scholarship opportunities for technical jobs. So they'll partner, basically they're doing a partnership with technical schools in the hospital, and they're offering tuition reimbursement programs as well as scholarship opportunities in order to push through and actually get even the employee a little bit more training. So if they actually want to make a career out of the job they do at the hospital, they can actually go ahead and further that. And I believe that's what the hospital is further pushing. So as far as more relevant to my news article in Chapter 7, the U.S. healthcare workforce, Tampa General Hospital is really being a part of making this a huge thing, because they said the U.S. healthcare workforce is going to grow exponentially, and this is definitely one thing that's going to push it over top. 300 open job positions, some of them not even requiring experience. They do on-the-job training. They'll get you up to speed on everything you need to do, especially being a pharmacy tech. They said they always need people to help them count medicine and get medicine out to patients over the counter. So, Chapter 7 is all about the U.S. healthcare workforce. My relevant news article talks about employment opportunities, expanding the U.S. healthcare workforce. Tampa is really on their job. Okay, so with every good plan and every good Samaritan thing somebody wants to do, there are always potential problems. And as far as Tampa General Hospital actually putting into play this training program and trying to get people into the workforce, healthcare workforce, I think more of the problems we'll have. I know people sometimes have a problem understanding different things. So while you ended up training these people, are you going to actually have time to get sufficient training for everybody and for everybody to actually understand that? Because, you train people, you can put them in an environment, they still don't know what they're doing, and they still be confused and still end up making mistakes. And that in turn will slow down the process of what you actually have to do in their whole plan for doing this, to actually be able to move things faster along and provide speedy service to people in the hospitals. But if these people aren't understanding training and they're not getting sufficient training because there are so many people, then how will they be able to really see how that's going to help? And then there's always determining who to hire. If you have people and they don't require any experience, then how are you going to be able to interview these people and say, oh yeah, I want you for this job? But then you also have somebody else who doesn't have any experience and they're about equal. How do you determine who to hire? Are you going to hire more people? Because if you continue to hire more people, that comes back to the training comprehension and sufficient training. Because you have so many people in one room, they're trying to learn, but you have too many to even help them. Like questions asked. I mean, how long are you going to be able to contribute to each session? And then, they have the tuition reimbursement program. People take advantage of the system because I'm sure, schools do have financial aid. People do take classes and they will drop them just to get money. That's called taking advantage of the system. And also, how long will these people be able to take these exams? Like, how long will they have to finish the program? But that's more of my questions. And then, how are you going to be able to tell if this is doing any good as far as performance measurements? Are there any follow-ups, things like that? How are you going to be able to tell what happened? That this program actually taking any effect? Besides, I know employment is important, but how much is it actually benefiting the hospital? So as we all know, there's always going to be a competition in the area. Even though Tampa General Hospital is one of the biggest hospitals in the surrounding area, their market shares aren't exactly what you would consider the biggest in the region. A hospital called Baycare Health Center, which is part of the Catholic Health East/Trinity Health, owns a huge amount of the market shares. And then there's Hospital Corporation of America, and then there's the Community Health Center. Tampa General Hospital is coming in there strong with them still, but they don't have as much as you would think they have. It's come to a point even where Tampa General Hospital had to team up with Florida Hospital's Tampa Bay Network in order to offer joint services and programs that include an ambulatory care, post-acute care, rehabilitation facilities, home health and wellness. And the goal of this was to increase its brethren of service and its geographic footprint while still trying to maintain its independence. So Tampa generally stayed in an area where they could still be marketing on their own, but in order to stay up and try to grab that market share, they ended up having to team up with somebody. Tampa's also had failures where they attempted to buy Citrus Memorial Health Systems, and that's in Inverness, Florida, last summer, but that failed. But As I said, these problems that they're going to probably end up occurring with a lot of the healthcare jobs, I believe they will still be able to prosper regardless of this. So they can honestly go ahead and give their input there. I think bringing in more people will definitely increase the number of people they can service at a time. And I think with more speedy and qualified service, that people will actually come into the hospital more, be more about Tampa General Hospital. And let's not forget about the people, the type of people you hire as well. Because everybody doesn't always have quality people, even though they're supposedly educated. But I think with them bringing in people who don't have all the world of experience, but still knowing what to do, it becomes more of a humbling experience for them. I mean, we have 3 big hospitals. Tampa General Hospital does not have the biggest shares, but they're competing. But they're slowly growing into creating more revenue. And with more people coming in, they'll be better able to beat out the competition by increasing their patient volume, by more people being there, surgeries, there's prep for surgery, things like that. More people will bring in easier time for them. I also feel like the hospital, if they bring in more people to work with, they won't ever have to worry about teaming up with another organization again, because they can do these things on their own. They have more people, they gave more area, people could be able to do their own thing with enough people, because this hospital holds 1,018 beds. You don't have exactly enough people to nurse each bedside and also run around and do the other things, taking vitals, things like that. We have nurses, things like that, but people get busy. But having people who you can actually contribute to each thing you need to do, it'll make it easier to serve a program. They can create new programs as well. Just what they're doing with bringing in all these employees is going to be a step up for them as far as competition wise. They can compete with these hospitals. And Tampa General Hospital already has many clinics around the area, but if they can do something big with their hospital, then I believe they can do a lot more than that. They won't ever have to worry about teaming up. They can take on competition easily, just because these other areas have hospitals in different countries, different part of the world. They can open up their own if they bring in more people like this. So further elaborating on some of my potential problems I saw with this program of hiring a lot of employees and actually having a training program for them is, the main things I went through is like, how you determine who gets hired if they don't have any experience? How you cater to trainings of every person you hire? Will follow-ups happen to make sure that employees are comfortable and properly trained in their jobs? What kind of performance measurements or determinants will you have to determine usefulness of this method of employment? What programs are employees able to roll in at technical schools that are eligible for tuition reimbursement? Which technical schools will the hospital be willing to partner with? And how long will the employee have to complete the program with tuition reimbursement? These are questions that need to be answered, and as I go into your interview, I will really want to know how they're going to go about these things, and will I have a part in doing training? Will everybody have a part in the hospital of doing something like this? I know they're going to do a whole program, but bringing a whole new program means you have to train other people as well to be able to do these jobs well. I know you say take the head of some people's departments and do it, but how much time do I actually have to do these things? These are main issues that, as I've done in my auditing career, we run into. How much time do people actually have to train people? And how many mistakes result from not having proper training? Things happen like this. So these are some of my questions I'm willing to ask. And as I get hired, I think that's something I definitely want to try to integrate and maybe be a part of helping as well. But once again, it comes down to setting aside that time, making sure you have the resources available for these people, and having that information for them, and having a sufficient amount of staff who actually knows what they're doing and who to present this to. So I believe that's the end of my presentation. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I hope maybe these questions, as I go along, I will be able to get the answers, because maybe I'll be working at your Tampa General Hospital one day. It's a wonderful hospital, and Florida seems like it's the area I'll be going to. So thank you for listening.